Well, welcome. Oh,
Evening.
shit, I tell you, there's never a dull moment when you're doing live streams, Brent. Oh, my
I
God.
would I would love one day to record the 5 minutes before it goes live, for people to see what actually happens before this goes to air.
Yeah, no, that was
Uh,
exciting, and it's always on sort of because we're both smart. We both rock roll in here 10-2, and we're like, yeah, no, we're confident this is gonna go without a glitch, and then yeah, shit
and
hits the
then
fan, and then the internet started working, and well, we always come through in the end, so I guess that's a good thing.
eventually, yes, my wife's making dinner, and I'm looking at the clock, going, I got time. Yep, everything will be fine, of course. And here we are. We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Yeah, I was having a frittata tonight. Nicole was pulled out the eggs and the chorizo sausages and the
Ooh,
cheese and the potatoes, all that good stuff that you're not allowed
all
to
the
have on
carbs.
a
All the carbs.
and then I was sitting there and like quarter two, I went, oh shit, I have to get behind the computer, and I just, all right, okay,
I was
expecting that.
waiting for your message. I was sort of sitting there thinking, I haven't even got the abusive message of "Are you coming yet? What are you doing?"
Oh, let's just put it like, yeah. Well, it's sort of it's a big event tonight. We've had a big day in the American politics, and the things are getting all ready for tomorrow for the big. So I don't want to go into that type of stuff, but yeah, it was a quite exciting day.
Lots
But how,
happening.
how how are you, Brent? You had a few days off between Christmas and New Year's. Did you slot right back into work? How did you go?
I'm struggling bad. I just thrown back into the washing machine's just not cutting it for me. It's it's tough, very tough going back to work after living a life of retirement for 10 days. It was beautiful. I love the time off, but yeah, struggling to wind back up. It's back to chaos, and I'm just not sure I'm ready for it. I just need a bit of time to adjust, I think.
Yeah, no. I was, no, it's good to have you back at work. You're not lying in bed anymore. You and your little mate Archie.
No, no,
Just
no dog to keep me company. It's quite boring at work. No one to share my food with me. It's terrible.
oh shit, yeah, no, they're always around. Let's just run through the people that's here already waiting. With bated breath. To see what's going to happen tonight.
The
Corey
share
Gill,
squad.
Corey Gill. Hello, Dave Muzz Williams. Hello, Mitchell Holiday. G'day, mate. Donna Bennett. Uh,
G'day, g'day.
yes, Daniel Boswell. The Boswells are in. Yeah. Carl Smith. Darren Boswell. Bloody hell, mate. I've just cooked dinner and I'm here ready and waiting. Yep. It was sort of a spur of the moment clutch because you messaged me last night saying, "Oh, I should have checked this." It just shows you.
But I was busy playing with the new Sony, as you sort of gave
Yeah,
me the instruction manual. I'm setting up, and at about 10 o'clock, I strolled out of the snake shed and went, "Oh wow, look, there's a few heads poking out of this. We probably should have cut that tonight, but we'll
yeah.
uh, we'll get it done tonight. There is a little bit out already. There's probably half a dozen. We'll have a little sneak peek here.
Yeah, we'll get into that soon. Hopefully, there's something nice that comes out of there. So, Marty, I had an exciting weekend. I had a very exciting weekend. We're building a reptilia. Friend of mine, Marty, that's been on the show a few times. We built over at his house, doing some videos, some photos for his new website that should be up in probably the next. I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything. I don't know
it,
how that goes.
it'll be up in 2021 for sure.
But he's heading to Queensland, and I thought, if something's going to happen, then it's always good to document. I've been talking for ages about setting up a site as well that has like an encyclopedia of Australian. We've talked about it as well. I think
Morphs. Yep.
somebody needs to pull finger and document all these outstanding mutations that have been made over the last 10 years, and
Yep.
and, and reference the history, I think there's a need for that, so some place where you can send all the newbies and say, look, Go and have a look there. If you want to know about marbles, these are the marbles, and these are the guys working with the marbles at the moment. And you can
Yep.
reference each guy's. As you like, you'll have your name next to the albino granite. Like I'm just saying, we've spoken
Yep.
about this before. And I went to Marty's place, and man, if anybody's looking for world class Antaresia, Marty Bahaja. I always mess that up, that surname, Marty B. Consult with him. I saw some stuff there that I didn't think was, I've never, I haven't really seen that many. I've seen many marbles in pictures, but the sheer, just the phenotype, the phenotypical variance in those animals it's just outstanding. Just for one single gene to be that to be that diverse in expression is unreal. I mean, you've got a couple. You work with marbles, don't you, Brent?
Yeah, I've got a few. There's a couple here and a couple in the other room. There's just so much variation in them. There's just a crazy morph that's light, dark, lots of pattern, no pattern. It's there's plenty going on with that morph yet. I don't think it's fully unlocked yet.
Yeah. So I went to Marty's place, man. We did some video, we did some photos, and I was just blown away by some of the stuff that he's working with as well. Some of the multi-gene marble stuff. The outstanding example that it had there was from it's a T positive a T positive uh it's like Stimson's bloodline marble, and that thing was bright red and outstanding. Oh yes, okay. So for those of you that don't know what a marble looks like, this is a marble.
Hang on, let me just move this tub.
So they've got I think that's probably going to end up being a really nice little snake. So that's what a marble looks like. So it's well, from what I can tell, it looks like a pattern disruptor. It's like a pattern it just takes away the pattern. Thank you. So I'm just thanking my wife for coffee that she brought in. So hold it a little bit lower. There we go. So that's your. I would say I don't know enough about marbles, but that looks like it's definitely a grade, if you ask me.
Nice and light, yeah. Not like there's probably a fair bit of pattern. They're born almost patternless. They sort of develop the pattern over time. So this one's looking like it's not going to be a super heavy pattern animal, which I like. I like them both. There's some out there with really heavy pattern that are beautiful, and some that are almost patternless and very white are absolutely stunning. I saw some that you took at Marty B's place, stunning. Absolute stunners.
No, it's definitely. And if anybody wants to go and check him out, he's on Facebook. We support each other on this channel. We support other breeders, and we support other breeders on these live streams. Marty, go and look him up, Reptilia on the internet, and his website's going to be at reptilia.com.au. So looking at marbles and Teresa, look him up. So let me just see who else is here. Jay Boyle, g'day mate. Chris Lofdal, g'day. Chris Fry. We'll jump into the snake cutting soon. It's a second last episode, so I think we'll give people a bit of time. I don't know about you, dear. Have you got anywhere to rush after this, Brent?
I got nothing on, mate. Actually, no, I do. Sorry, I've got to pack some stuff later on tonight and sort some stuff. But yeah, we got a bit of time. All right, I always think of Marty B. He's like Cardi B, just prettier.
just more handsome, yeah.
Just more beautiful.
Joe Forza, good luck, Brent. I hope you see a crack moon. Crack a moon glow. Yeah, okay. Eddie Darnell, howdy guys. Nathan Gage, hi guys. Good luck, Brent. Michelle Goesby, hey boss. I'm watching Michelle again. There we go.
Hello,
regular.
Yep. She's on her treadmill running up 20 Ks.
Yeah, Leah Bennett, another regular. G'day, Leah. Tony Hall, sup fellas. Chris Fry, g'day, mate. Who else is here? Damn it, I'm going to try and just jump a little bit. There's a lot of chatter here today. If there's questions and we miss it, maybe just drop it in again at some stage. If there's really something that's pressing you, then you can always message. Brent loves to take messages. He loves it.
Yes, take a number. Yes.
Yeah, just as long as you don't pressure him to get back to you, he'll try. I'm sure he'll get back to you eventually. So Marty, yes, had a blast. I had a blast having you over, mate. Lots of good things to come here. We had a good laugh. I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing that we always do. You know, if you reptile people, once they can get away from social media and actually hang out with
These
each other,
people.
it is
Yeah.
the best time that you can have ever is with
Yep.
a bunch of people that share your passion, especially reptiles. Reptiles just one of those things where keep your people chatting, you know, a lot of serious talk, a lot of light-hearted talk, and the more you know the guys, the more you can take the piss out of each other, you know. So that's all good.
Yep.
Uh,
That's when the expos are a great social day out. You know, you spend half the day wandering around talking to mates, and the conversations are so from one end of the world to the other end of the world. Especially when you're talking to blokes like Darren Whitaker, it's just some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth just unbelievable.
yeah,
Uh,
diverse range of topics, I'd say. We've got Big Beard in the house, Zach Mac. G'day, mate. Great. We
Colin
also,
Ray, speaking of Antaresia Kings.
yeah, Colin Ray. Yes, yes. Hello, Colin. Yeah, also another follower. As long as you use lots of, we all love it. So I don't know what the lots of question marks. Yeah, lots of questions. Lots of questions. Yeah.
I'll
So
leave that alone.
yeah, so we've got quite a bit of activity going on here. I could actually see the viewer number tonight. So for those of you that are new, please share this into a group so that we can bump the numbers up. A lot of people don't see these because Facebook restricts stuff, and because I follow American politics, that you've got the fact checkers also cracking down on on. I think it limits exposure to certain things, and it sort of cripples you on the internet. Um,
I
so
suppose
please,
Zuckerberg's probably got his eye on you. I bet old Zuckster.
yeah,
He
yeah.
wants your blood.
So give us a share. We don't like asking for that stuff here, but we like a lot of you tuning in. There's always something to learn. So let me just go big screen. So Brent, give us a quick rundown of. So it looks like there's quite a few out already. What are we looking at tonight, mate?
This one is the classic double head Moonglow clutch. One of the parents of these is Caramel. So Caramel het Exanthic, het Albino to just a double head het Exanthic, het Albino. So basically 1 in 16 odds chasing a Snow, 1 in 32 chasing the Moonglow. I've paired these a few years in a row. Been pretty kind to me. I think I've got maybe one Moonglow, one Snow so far. So not
Okay.
doing too bad so far. So third year round, we'll see. She didn't have quite as many eggs this year. I don't know however many eggs there is on this file. Mallory.
You
20.
you've made Moonglows though, but have you got any of them still? Are they still any of those still going? What's happening?
Gone to the other room, I think.
Okay. No, I
Might
just know you
be.
had one a couple of years back from a double head to was it a double head to a double head or it was something?
Yep, this same clutch. This same
Uh,
clutch is the only clutch I use to make that Moonglow stuff.
Let me just
Let's see if I can find one. There
let me
might
just
be
do
another.
a quick speed test here on the net. It looks like it's
Oops.
okay. Yeah.
It's alive. My camera's just falling down.
All right. No, that's all right. Yep.
There might have been a Moonglow here. I might have moved it. I can't remember. I just moved everything to swap stuff and move stuff around. So now I've got no idea where anything is. Not that. 110. Don't know. We'll have a look for it later, eh?
Yeah, no, let's have a look at these babies. Just make sure your little silver dot has moved now. So the
Yeah.
center is sort of right where the edges of the paper and the
Yeah.
yes, a little bit higher. Yeah, a little bit. So they're right where the paper meets the yes, right there. That's middle.
Yeah. I can. Oh,
That's
until.
right.
God, this reminds me of bloody Marty
Uh,
B with his falling camera, eh?
okay, well, we'll just call that a night. Thanks a lot, mate. We'll see you next time.
That's a wrap. All
The
right.
technical difficulties lingers on. There we go.
Continue.
Okay,
All
but
right. Let's try that.
we'll be
So,
patient.
so let's grab a couple that are out. That's one of the old special wild type straight off the bat. Nice and dark
Can you hold it
colour.
up? Yes, there we go. Your camera's it's a little bit further for some reason tonight, and there we go. Okay, so that's your standard wild type.
Quite a dark little fella.
Yeah.
Let's shove him in the tub. Darren would be happy. Bloody wild types everywhere off the bat. He's his favourite.
Yep. Another
That,
wild type.
just a wild type. Sometimes the exanthic stuff gets blended in a little bit hard to tell, but you can generally pick the eye colour fairly easily.
Yeah.
And no silver eyes with the brown eyes. It's wild type for sure.
Yep.
What else we got here? I'll just grab this little bunch out here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, standard albino and wild type, yes.
Wild type, possibly actually caramel. Just a little caramel on that.
Yeah.
It's much lighter on the sides. And yeah, definitely up on the head, much lighter.
There's so much caramel this year.
It's everywhere.
They look like they haven't really sucked up their yolks a lot. Some of them have missed it like this.
Not a lot. There's a bit of egg
Yolk.
sac hanging off that one.
Yeah.
Just a little albino.
For those of you that like to call that little stalk umbilical cord on a snake, that's not right. It is actually a yolk stalk.
It's close, but similar, but not the same.
Yeah, for those of you that like to refer that, it's not a major thing. I just thought it's a little bit of trivia, a little bit of information that a lot of people don't know. So,
because I know how much you love that umbilical cord word. It's one of your favorites.
I think umbilicus is also right, but not umbilical. It's umbilicus. Let me just Google that. Let me not get fact check. Hang on.
Fact check, Bornman.
Let me just see. Licus. I think Richard Hudspeth mentioned that once. Let me just say umbilicus dictionary. The navel, a depression or hole at the center of the shell whorls of some gastropod mollusks and many ammonites. No, I don't know if that's right. How many is it? So the navel, clinically known as the umbilicus, colloquially known as the belly button. Let me just see. So yolk stalk. Let's just see. While you get that ready. Sorry, folks. We're just doing a yolk stalk. Just see if I can find it. A narrow tube present in the earlier embryo that connects the midgut of the embryo to the yolk sac outside the embryo through the umbilical opening. Yes. So the yolk stalk is the correct word. Okay. Interesting.
So yolk stalk, we locked it in, Eddie.
Yeah, yolk stalk in yolk sac. So the yolk stalk, it makes sense. The yolk sac connects the yolk stalk. There we go. Umbilicus, I don't know. Umbilicus, I don't know if it fits the zoological. Darren Boswell says yes. And the little scar that you see on the young neonates called an umbilicus scar. I don't know if umbilicus is right though, from looking at the zoological definition of it. But I'll do some more research. I thought you get the facts here. You don't get fake news or misinformation here. It's all facts. Brent?
It's not ABC News, not Fox News.
Yeah, I don't think there's any news that's correct. I just don't know. Okay, so shoot us your questions. If there's anything you need to ask about egg management in reptiles, please make sure you listen. If there's any questions about egg management, egg incubation, because we're dealing with that right now, how to cut the eggs. If you haven't watched our previous shows, you can always go through our old shows and have a look at some of that stuff there. Don't be shy, please. We like to help people around here. So that's you'd seen that's a caramel. Yeah, it looks caramel to me around the head there.
Caramel on the head, yep, and you can see inside the egg there, very, very light down inside.
So just for the people that don't know, what constitutes a moonglow? What is the genetic makeup of a moonglow, Brent?
Moonglow, essentially caramel, albino, exanthic. So those three genes tend to make it up. I know when Larks first made them, he had hypo in his line and caramel. We're not going to play that debate tonight, but yeah, he had two lines of hypo or caramel mixed into his initial lines. But I'm sure it basically needs the caramel or hypo mixed in with exanthic and albino. So it's a three-gene animal, I guess you'd say.
let's see what this looks like when I do this, and then I'll run the chat over the. Let me just check. I know there was an overlay chat. There we go. So now you can see the snakes and see. Let me just see. Why is the chat not coming in? Okay, so that was supposed to be a new. Oh, there we go. There we go. Messages from your audience will display here. So okay. So if there's any chatter, throw us a message, ask a question, and we'll get to it. We'll try and cover it. Are the albinos classed as an albino Darwin? So with these are mixed blood albinos, aren't
Yep,
they, Brent?
definitely, because it's the Xanthic line comes from coastal lines, and the albino from Darwin lines. So these would be 50% Darwin, 50% coastal.
Yeah. Okay. So
Um, there's
so
no jag in any of these, so that's another little caramel.
yep, another caramel. There we go. So Leah Bennett says, yeah, I think Brent answered that. He said a moonglow is a xanthic caramel albino.
Yep, and that's
Okay.
where snow is just the without the caramel. So basically, albino Xanthic for a snow. It's a little bit easier to get
A,
out on the ground than what the moon glow is.
a full moon is a super hypo. Yes, it's a xanthic super hypo, super caramel, or slash
Yep,
super caramel homozygous. Yes.
yep,
Darren asked a question. So is a full moon the visual expression of the hypo, caramel, xanthic, and albino? Yes, Darren. Exactly.
yes. Two copies. It's the super caramel or super hypo of the
Cool.
moon glow. This one's
Please lift that up so we can just have a look. So you can show that little yolk stalk. That word runs off so over a couple of days. So even over a day or so, by tomorrow morning, that will be absorbed by the snake. They suck that into their guts. So don't be stressed if you see that. Just make sure you put it on sort of a damp medium, like a wet paper towel or something. And that doesn't. That's natural for them to have that little piece of dangly bit hanging out of their guts. Carl Smith. So, what would one of these be? One of the ones you suggested for me, Brent? Is the
yep,
question?
sure. Yep, he was looking for a little caramel thing. So there's quite a few caramels in this lot that'll suit Carl's needs for sure.
Marty Biagi, of course. It's a boy. It's a boy. If
Uh,
only it was that easy, hey, Marty? God, all of them would come out boys. That little dangly bit coming out of it. Oh, there we go.
I think
Typical
Marty
Marty.
Marty was doing some boy checking today. Actually, he's got secrets. He's been
Yeah, yeah.
doing
Typical,
things with boys.
typical Marty with that gutter brain of his. Everything ends up in the gutter. Any conversation. So thanks, mate. Thanks for nothing. Uh,
Yes.
let's see.
Ooh, yeah. See,
Oh,
that's Ghost. So there's
okay.
your caramel Xanthic.
Yes. Do we need the picture bigger, folks? The guys that are watching, we can go full screen. I think let's just go full screen. We'll go full screen, and then
We
I'll ask questions as they come in, so because I can check.
we should have, instead of sitting on our lounges eating dinner, we should have got that Sony up and rolling
Uh,
and got it on the production list.
we'll do that on a night where there's no streaming, so we know that everything's running fine. So that's beautiful. So Marty said he did some sexing today. So tell me you've got a boy, mate. Tell me you've got one boy. Uh, who else? Amazing creatures. Yep. Alice John. So a few people getting tagged in here. Very cool.
This one's
And, and
had a decent slash by itself.
yeah, 81 people. And you're getting your first show going to your YouTube channel. So do me a favor,
Hey,
for the guys watching, please go over to YouTube, look up KHP Reptiles. That's Brent's channel, KHP Reptiles. Please go and give it a subscribe. Go and give it a like and a subscribe and start joining his YouTube. We're trying to build him a YouTube page. And then while you're there, go over to Carpet Python TV and subscribe as well. You can get notifications when we go live. And there's our the whole library there of all our shows that we've done. That's a nice looking caramel.
that's beautiful caramel. That's super
Nice
light,
red.
very caramel. There's one, Carl. Look, show that to the missus, mate. That one's a cracker.
Yeah. Marty
Beautiful.
says he's got a pair, so that's good.
That's excellent result for Marty. A pair and his secret little project there is outstanding.
And we'll keep it Hush, hush. Yeah, you
Of
heard it here
course, of
first.
course.
You heard it here first.
We're also gonna keep it hush hush how he sexed them with his tongue today. He was telling me about.
Oh, he would have
Mm.
definitely done it in a quiet spot in his
Uh,
house.
I can guarantee there was no lights on when he was performing that process today.
Behind closed doors in his snake room.
Uh, ew.
Oh, come on. We need another one of those chimeras. Have you tried that one? Has Trump eaten yet?
Trump will not eat as yet. He has refused a rat and refused a mouse so far, but
Okay.
no big stress. Two down.
Let me
Early
just,
days.
I'll put it up on the screen so people can go and find you. So if you go on YouTube, let me see. I think I set up one for, oh no, I didn't. I didn't follow us on YouTube at, hold on, Leah. I'll put on YouTube, make a sub for
Let's get
YouTube at KHP Reptiles. Bang. Okay.
find a link. Now we can get be like those people I listen to on YouTube all the time that say like me and click the bell next to the subscribe button.
Yep. So
We'll get
there's
notified whenever we're doing a show.
so that's Brent's channel's name, KHP Reptiles, like his snake facility name, the facility, huh, Brent? And then this is mine. Let me just quickly put it up there. So all of this stuff and extra stuff is on those older videos that we made as well. Because we used to do interviews with guys as well, and then it just became too hard. But it's a new year. Oh, happy New Year, everybody! Yeah, we forgot that, huh, Brent? Oh,
Happy
Xanthic,
New Year.
Xanthic.
Just Xanthic, I think.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. I mean, that's a nice looking. That's nice and dark.
But when I say just Xanthic, no caramel. So yeah,
Yeah.
Xanthic.
I, I,
As I said.
I still like the Xanthics. I mean, can you see the silver? Oh, yes, you can see the silver straight out of the egg. You can see how silver that eye is. So, for those of you that don't know, the axanthism removes what's it? Iridophores.
Yep, basically stripping out all the yellow out of the yellow, I believe, out of
And orange, I think.
and then you have the other version of that. This thing's just going to come charging out if it wants to see the world. Fine.
There we go. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, you sure that
Well,
looks
that could even be a ghost, actually. Yeah.
got the grey
Looking
on
at
the side.
looking down the sides of that, it's very light. I'd
Yeah,
say that's just a straight up ghost. Just
there's a
quite
little
dark in the head.
there's a little piece of umbilical stalk lying on the bench there, isn't it? Oh no, it's a
Yep.
little, no, it's a
Still
little silver thing. Yeah.
still attaching. Very slimy when they're first out of the egg. They're a bit of a nightmare to handle.
Yeah, you'll be licking your hands after that.
It's amazing how much you learn to love that smell.
Oh,
Much as much as you like fresh shed, I love that smell of the egg, fresh egg.
eh,
Beautiful.
Colin Ray says, sounds like everyone knows about Marty secrets. Yeah. We all do that. We all do. We all do.
Yes,
Exactly, Colin. Exactly.
well,
Um,
anyone who's spoken to him for 5 minutes sort of gets to know what they're dealing with.
the dark mind of Marty Bahaja. Yeah.
Marty,
Uh,
Cardi B, the male Cardi B.
Yeah, Zeke Doyle says, "Wow, I love how dark that baby is." Yeah, that baby. That previous one was nice. I do like a little ghost. I do like that ghost action. What have we got there? Just a standard, standard or
Caramelish. It's,
yeah. Leah's giving us the rundown here. She's the researcher on the show tonight. Axanthism, well, axanthic, how we call them in the hobby. All, yeah, the first word sent. It doesn't.
reduction. Yes,
It's
the
a
key
reduction
word.
in yellow and red pigment or both. Overall appearance of grey or silver. Axanthic gene is an essential component in the production of a snow. Yes, thank you, Leah.
And
Darren Boswell. I can just imagine all of us in one room. That'd be terrible. Darren Boswell, finger licking good. Are we still? We're not going to leave this licking. Brent, you started something. Yeah? Huh? You
It was
started to
Marty.
do
Marty started it. I'll post the screenshots of Marty's talk today if he doesn't take responsibility for it.
Ashley Chameleon says, "Evening, gentlemen." What did you say, Brent? Sorry, I was concentrating on what if we missed anything. Yeah, what were you
No,
saying?
just
Oh,
blaming Marty B for the licking incident.
I am RDB. That's also nice and red.
Nice caramel again. Caramel heavy in this clutch is looking great for caramels.
Yeah, it's a good found, but there'll be possible hits as well, won't they?
Yes, yep. I mean everything that's wild type or caramel is possible double het. 66% chance of carrying both genes, and obviously all the albinos, pos het, xanthic, the xanthic's pos het albino. There's a bit of a mismatch of genes once you get the head-to-head stuff going. Lots of combos and lots of stuff you get to hold back and prove out later. So it makes for some further exciting clutches. These guys are ready to go. As soon as they,
Yeah. Oh, there.
as soon as we're tapping open, they're keen.
And I guess that's why you help them. Like a lot of them. See that one. There's no yolk left. Is there anything left in the egg? Right?
That egg is empty. That
Yeah.
thing
So,
is
so you can
totally.
see, and this is what causes the issue. This is why we cut the eggs. A lot of people, a lot of breeders got flack for cutting eggs and stuff like this. But the other option is a lot of these snakes, because they've been bred in captivity. Not that it happens often, but it does happen. Is some of them end up without an egg tooth from trying to cut out of the egg. Some of them end up without an egg tooth. That means that they can't get out of the egg, and then they end up dying in there because they can't, because they can't get out.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
this is why we know that when you cut them like that and they just quickly slither out, they're ready to get out. Like that egg didn't have any slices on it, did it?
No, where is it? I've chucked it in the bin. It might have had a small slit in the top, but certainly not out. The Zemex had a clutch yesterday that had some issues with a few that were dead in the egg that had no egg
Oh,
teeth either. Which it's certainly a case of it does happen. There are snakes out there that do not make it, and they sometimes need a
yeah.
little bit of help. So
Yeah, no, that's why we do it. So you'd rather be safe than sorry, I always say. Ray Toms, hello, mate. Yeah, Ray Tom, hello. Toms, hello, gents, he says. There we go. Let's have a look. Let's check this out. That looks like a snow to me. It's a little
uh,
bit lighter.
I think just albino.
Yeah, you reckon?
Get a bit better look at the body.
Oh, that's also ready. Look and go.
It's
Look and go.
light.
Yeah, it is lighter, mate. I think that might be a snow. Or so they say, you know.
I know your thoughts on this now. Go back in for me for a second.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got theories. I've got lots of theories, but we'll just go with the guys that know better. I don't know.
the guys that have done it all.
I don't know.
No, I'd say just albino. It's light, but that's variation. That's the bit that catches a lot of people on when they think there's something going on. Polygenic variation in anything, much lighter and much darker animals.
I reckon if you wriggle that egg around, that guy will just come flying out as well. He just looks
He's
like
ready.
yeah. You
He's
see,
ready. I'm holding him back from launching
I
because
wonder, like that's very yellow. I mean, you get a better idea if he gets out there. I reckon that's good. Either very light standard albino or darker snow. I don't know. I don't know. Only thing that I'd be looking at is a pure white snake. Yeah, it's the only thing.
yeah, that's a gun thing. You
I
have a
don't
look
know.
at some of these eggs, how the moldy, dirty mark. There was 2 eggs in this clutch that went bad fairly early, and I just let them be till I threw them in the bin last night, and
Yeah.
they were absolutely just crumbling. I was trying to pick them up. That's all that powder. There was just powder falling off all over the place from them. So
Are these from that
just
snakes? The snakes that you got from Cameron Meredith or originally?
yes, yep, that's the ones.
Anthony O'Daniel, what are the going rates on average for snow python? I don't know. You can contact Brent afterwards. I don't know what the going rates are. It varies from who
Yeah.
you get it. Some people want a lot, some people want less. I don't
There's
know.
not many being sold. I think Jared Sharp's probably the only one who's sold a snow as yet. I know Lark sold a few Moonglows, and I think Joe sold a few Moonglows, but there's not so many snows out there. I
So
mean,
now,
they'll
so is
they'll
now,
roam.
Sorry, I'll hold that one up next to the one that you had before. That egg next to the white before, and see the color difference. I don't know. It's the previous one was very light in comparison to that. See, that to me looks like a classic albino, and that looks lighter. See, this is what frustrates reptile guys. It's a slight difference in coloration, but the caramel gene, some caramels are heavily patterned and some caramels are really light patterned.
Yeah.
That was what messes you around. So I mean, a lot of people would see that one on the right and go, like myself, and go, oh well, that's a snow, and
Yep.
it might not.
Absolutely.
Might just be a lighter albinos, because I've had albinos that were almost pure, not pure white, but they were really like a light pink color.
Yep. And I would say they're just both albinos.
Yeah,
Just the two ends of the scale. That's to me very, very orangey. Not sunglow orange though, but just the albino color at the dark end of the scale, and that's just
yeah.
something you get in the very light end of the scale.
So
So yeah,
hang around. We'll be looking at some of those super zebras. I see people are dropping off, but they'll miss out because you had a few super zebras hatch over the weekend. We might look at those at the end of the show just to have a little catch up with the guys.
a couple of little Manises in there with the super tail.
I just rename them that mutation. Just give it my name. I like them that much. Oh, what's this? Another? Oh no, just the wild
Wild
type.
type,
Yeah,
wild type, and ready to rock and roll.
yeah. There he goes. So what's going on, mate?
Hey,
Oh,
hey, stay in, fella.
straight out.
That's what I see. We're not seeing the magic white that I'm hoping to see yet. We've
How
still
many?
got
How many eggs?
4 eggs left, 4 to go.
Well, we can still have. So 1 in 32. Oh, you don't have 32 eggs there, so
Uh,
that brings the numbers even lower.
Even
and makes
tougher,
it even harder to make. What
from
did what did
22.
Jared, what did Jared say? Jared Sharp said he had 100 eggs before he made his first Moonglow. So
Yes, yep. I think he'd done 5 clutches. I think before he got the magic.
yeah,
Tough odds. It's head-to-head stuff's always a battle once you get those visuals out. Even if you're working with, albino head xanthic and xanthic head albinos, makes it far easier. You're starting to get quarter of the clutch stuff that can be mooned. So
yeah.
it's head-to-head's where that all starts from now. And, that's another one of those sort of darker looking albinos.
Standard albino there. Yeah, there's nothing quite like that smell of those eggs when that albumin that's all over you when you cut those eggs. Man, it's slippery.
Uh,
Oh, for the people that don't know, that is so slippery, that stuff.
It is. It's one time as dangerous for the hatchie because they can slip right on through your fingers and be gone in a flash.
Let's have a look. It looks dark there inside there.
Looks dark already. Very very dark. Caramel.
Yeah, it's red. It's nice.
What is that down the side there? Just a bit of vein. I was hoping that could have been something magic, but just vein. Where's your
Yeah,
head, fella?
Joe Ball's done. I think pretty sure Joe Ball's done Moonglow to Moonglow last year, and I think he had a full clutch of Moonglow. So yeah, it's been done. It's definitely been done.
Yep. I think Lark's had a crack at it as well. Can't
Yeah.
remember what happened at the end of these, but yep, they'll certainly become more common in the hobby. Over the next few years, there's a few. I've seen quite a few out. Tyson this year. I can't remember his reptile name. TJ something. Sorry, Tyson. Whatever your reptile name is. He had a nice bunch of in a
Oh,
tub. I saw
yeah.
up.
Ties, what's it? Ties reptiles or something? I saw it on sort of on Instagram, popped up in my feed.
Yep, I think he had 4 or 5 or 6 moons or something in snows and moons in his first clutch. An outstanding effort off the bat.
Yeah, look, that guy also straight out.
Straight out, I'd say another caramel.
So no veins on the eggs as well. That's a very good sign that there's that snake was going to be momentarily unleashed.
More than ready.
Tyson Evans, yeah, Ty's Marelia. Tyson Evans is on here. Ty's
That's him.
Marelia. Yeah, I saw that. I saw those little pink heads. Very nice.
And no egg tooth on that at all, unless it's
Yeah.
come off inside the egg. There's a tiny slit in the top, so maybe he's slit that little bit and broken the tooth off because they come off fairly easily after they've done its job. So
You know what? I think the different. I think what causes the issue, and I think I've heard this somewhere. You know, like in the wild, when the females are incubating their eggs by themselves, there's a lot of environmental factors that wear down the eggshell. And I
Yep,
think in captivity inside I mean, I'm just speculating now, but it would make sense to me that you've got a lot more environmental wear and tear on eggs, and the female rubbing on the eggs and moving them around and stuff, because females do move their clutches around. You know, they put them where they want, and they maneuver them the way they need to maneuver them. And I think that the fact that they don't get that type of abuse in you know, we put them in a tub inside an incubator. I think that's part of the reason as well. You know, by the time and a lot of these eggs, our shells are thicker. You know, we feed them; they get different food in captivity. I think there's a whole bunch of elements that wild eggs have. Or it could just be that you know, they get born with egg without egg. So I could just be filling time now with you cutting that. So I like the sound of my voice, but it would make sense that, you know, the eggs in the wild would have a lot more wear and tear on it. That looks like it's dead in egg.
it looks fully formed and
Yeah.
died full
So
term by the look of it.
see if there's an egg clutch. So there's a typical example, a perfect snake. You see how its mouth's open. Well, he couldn't breathe
Yep.
in there and just died.
I would say yes. No visible egg tooth, and I would say that's your classic example. I mean, there's 1,000 things that a hatchie can die from full term. There's
Uh,
a host of things going on, but looking at how every other snake has come roaring out of those eggs ready to go,
uh,
that thing's fully developed, fully covered, no egg tooth, and dead with his head sitting at the top of the egg. So,
yep.
and that egg did not have a single slit in it. It was all cut by me. So
Very
it's
dry.
yeah, fully absorbed, ready to go. So, and what date were these things on? Mallory, June the 10th. What's today's date? 6. So it's still a day 56, and everything out strong, ready to go. And that one clearly got left behind. So
And 56. I mean, normally, well, what do your clutches normally go? What's the normal average days it takes for the clutch to hatch at your place?
that's pretty normal. That 56 to 58 is about the range for me at 31 degrees. That tends to get them out before 60. I don't get a lot that go 60. If anything, some that are down low might make it to 60. But I think this year there was maybe 2 or 3 clutches in total that made it to 60,
All
and
right.
stuff as early as 54 days out and about.
Interesting.
So no snow, no moon glow. There's no pretty white ones in here, sadly. That's the first year I've not managed to get a snow or a moon glow out of the magic pair of Mickey and Mallory.
Was that double head to double head?
Yep, caramel double het to double het. So
Okay.
yeah, last couple of years they've managed to get the goods for me, but they struck out this year. It seems it happens, and
Yeah.
that's the odds, at 22 eggs. I mean, 1 in 16 you would think is achievable for a snow, but that's how it works. As Sharpie saw it, you don't always get the things you want in those head-to-head pairings.
The good thing is though they're getting to that price range now where you could buy a male and you could put it over your double head females, and your odds significantly improve when you do that.
Yes,
You know.
absolutely. There's it'll get easier in time, and that's what I say. The prices were fairly high, 2, 3, 4 years ago when moons were selling at lots of money. They were a very, very small market animal, and it's only a matter of time before that stuff grows up. And like you say, when there's 50 available, in a season, the prices will certainly come back to reality.
Yeah. Tyson Evans says his double head to double head clutch was very similar to this one. A lot of really nice. It's not. It's just big enough, just too big to see on screen. There it says a lot of
I can
really
see it.
nice
Nice,
caramel.
nice caramels, 2 ghosts and a
Yes,
few albinos, 20
20 eggs.
eggs.
20 eggs is a decent size. You had two, or just just for interest sake, you had a female in the first season. You had those double heads to each other. Where would you had an egg bound girl from that?
Yep.
Uh,
That was the same line back to caramel head exanthic girl that proved out. They were
yeah,
two 66 POS head girls,
yeah.
and funny, both of them got egg bound after the second or third year, I think.
Did you ever use one of those females again?
No, one had surgery and had some massive scarring on her stomach, 3 cuts in order to get those eggs out.
Yeah.
She lives happily now. She lives with Benny, one of my boys at work.
Okay.
So Benny takes care of Katniss. She got a lovely home, spoiled to death. So very cared for animal, which is nice. She's an absolute beautiful snake.
Cat,
Beautiful caramel coastal head xanthic, but
her
yeah,
name,
never to breed again.
her namesake
Um,
Katniss was on the movie was also very nice. What's on Jennifer?
oh,
What's it?
yes.
Jennifer Lawrence. Oh my
Lawrence,
God.
yes.
Yeah.
There's a
Then
quite famous picture of Jennifer Lawrence with a I think it's a ball
Hermes,
python draped over her.
Hermes
Woo.
body. I've seen that. I've got that on my phone somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Don't we all? Don't we all?
I think I. It's one of the few photos I ever posted on my page that got me, like got me a warning from Facebook. So I
and
thought
and
everyone
one
would appreciate a wonder, beautiful woman with a snake draped around her. I mean, what's wrong with that? You know, beautiful.
probably got you more punishment from Nicole, I bet.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about her. Oh,
Don't do that. Don't do
no,
that.
don't do that. That's just poking the bear. So, we had a question earlier. You know, everybody wants to always know about Trump. How's little Trump going? All right? Yeah.
Trumpy Trump going fine. Uh,
Haven't eaten yet, but yeah, it's they take time sometimes. But don't stress her. You don't want any stress.
well, I'm not.
Oh, there she is.
Not really pushing too hard with the food side of it. Just
Oh, let me
happy
get
it's alive and well.
For those of you that haven't seen that before, that is a one of a kind snake. So beautiful. She's moving around like a yes, very normal movements. I thought you'd be flailing around and stuff. That's very good. Don't stress
Yeah,
out.
it's all right. She's certainly shows some neuro when you annoy it. I tried when I fed it just to back of the neck to let it know the food was there and see if it would sniff it. Certainly had a little sniff and wasn't that interested and instantly moved away from it, which is for me is a no go sign. You know, if an animal comes towards it, strikes at it, or wants to come up and nose, the food and have a real good look over it, that's a great sign of interest. When they just turn around
Yeah.
and go the other way, that's never a good sign. It's you're pretty much wasting your time trying to get that thing to get on the end of the food and start to eat. So
It was actually a boa. We've just been corrected around here. Lucy,
okay.
it's about a Lucy collage. It's a boa, I think, on the photo. Good big for sure. I should just quickly find it. Yeah.
I'll Google that later to check it just one more
Oh
time.
my God. I just want to make sure the species of snake. Yeah, that's the only reason. Now, let me just see.
uh,
Jennifer
in fact checking, we must fact check the details for Katniss.
snake. Let me just see. Oh, yeah,
Or,
it's a boa constrictor. Let me just see it. I've got it here. Hang on.
I thought boa, but it's probably been a few days since I looked at it.
Oh, there's actually a high definition version of that. Oh, that. Let me just screen share. Let me just check.
Katniss on the big screen.
Yes. So there's actual story behind this. So this is the picture. So last July, so I don't know when that was, on a Patrick Demichelia shoot, a private residence in Hollywood Hills, a giant Colombian red-tailed boa constrictor spent most of the day cooped up in a perforated extra-large storage container managed by two very capable handlers. When it came time for the snake to take his start turn, there was a frightfully little between Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, so she did the pose with the snakes. It's just nice to know that she's not scared of snakes. That's always a good thing, you know. Get the brownie points in my book, definitely. Oh, and there's another photo of her with a macaw. So it's very animal heavy, that photo shoot. That's nice. Very nice.
McCall.
Very confident of herself. I like that. In any case, let's move on. So what are we looking at now, Brent?
There's a couple of these supers from that last clutch.
Oh,
This one's
that's very intense, isn't it? Oh,
strong colour, possibly some caramel.
I
Lively
reckon
little
that's
fellow.
caramel. That looks caramel. There we go.
I don't remember what this clutch was from. I don't know if there was caramel even in this clutch. Oh yeah, there was. There was a Sunglow,
Yeah, Sanglo, yeah.
Sunglow Zebra Jag.
Make sure you get it right under that camera because it's Not
Just
quite.
getting a bit of skin stuck on the end of that tail.
Yeah. See, so that's how they normally get rid of that. Like, they'll literally cut off,
Yeah,
literally cut off the blood supply to that little piece, and that little piece will just eventually fall off. So, but look at the color; it's nice and saturated, isn't it? Oh,
yeah, beautiful color. Just trying to get a better look at that tail. It's got a couple little twisty bits on their tail. I'm not sure if that was the one that had that really good tail. It might be
what is,
another one.
would you say that's a jag, or is that just a standard caramel super zebra? Do you think?
I think just normal. It's if it was a jaguar, I think it would be doing some weirder things under this much stress at this point.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
But the color, yeah, beautiful color
Just go. Yeah, nice and red. I like that.
though. Yeah,
Well, just,
beautiful.
I get excited when I think. I get excited when I think of the expos with you and your display on the day. You know, if you can get these up to about a yearling size, you could have a really nice just display set up at an expo and just let people have a look at some of these animals.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I know Jared Sharp does a good job of it. He takes along quite a lot of stuff that's display only. I did it for years. I took stuff for display, but yeah, you put the words "not for sale," display only on it, and all you do all day is get people annoyed that they can't buy those snakes. So it's catch-22. You know, people want to see the stuff. You want to be able to show some of the morphs, but um, people
That
want to be able to buy as well.
that also looks like a caramel.
Possible caramel too. It's got that same really strong red color to it,
Yeah.
and that tail is quite good too. It's
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. And they straighten out. A lot of them, when they get some meat on their bones, they end up going a little bit straighter with their tails. Or
yep.
so
That
they
one
say.
has that little tip on the end. Yeah, drying like you said, the blood flow drying up to it, and a little
Yeah,
tip
just
tends
fall
to
off.
get very hard and just drop off, and then we get a relatively decent tail at the end of that.
Yeah.
Get rid of that one. And I think a couple of the one that shed that looked fantastic.
One of those, let's have a look at some of those, one or two of those Sunglow. Did the Sunglow, wasn't there a real white one? What was the real white one? The Jag, was it a,
Yeah, albino super zebra jaguar. That little
there we
fella.
go. Hang on. A little bit more in where the button is, where that silver dot is. There we go. That's just so smooth, that isn't it? Look at it, how nice and really nice lines on it. That tail's also pretty good, isn't it?
Very good tail on this one, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that's just a albino, like a jag.
Yeah, I think just the tiniest little hook on the end of that tail. If you can see that little
Very nice.
tiny little, but the rest of the tail is fantastic. That's a really good tail for something that's albino super zebra jaguar. Does a little bit of strange movement, so I'm pretty confident in a jaguar and the color. You know, I'll show you the one of the Moonglows in a second, but you look at the side color on that. You know, super light. That'd be interesting to see as a much older animal, just albino.
Oh, you probably see that if it's a jag, once you offer it food, you know, the jags always seem to be a lot more interested in food straight off the bat. So,
Yes, I think that ate on the weekend. Actually, I'm fairly sure that one took food, and the exactly as you said, this one, the Moonglow, did not.
what do you start? What size food do you start them on, Brent?
I try them all on Pinky Rats straight away. Oh, Jesus, this one's lively.
Just put it on. You can't see it on the camera because it's not in the right spot there.
Just that one over.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's what is a Moonglow? That is nice. Look at that little
Moonglow Super Zebra.
Look at yeah. Look at the stripe down the side. Man, that's nice. Oof. And just for the sheer, you made some one-off. You might not have had the craziest, biggest season, but the stuff that you did make, you really made some really nice holdback stuff.
Yep, some beautiful animals that I wanted for myself. And now I was having this talk with Jeremy Finlay earlier that I made a lot of stuff that I wanted, as I generally breed for, not trying to make too much of stuff that everyone else wants. So
And
it's
that would be so easy to take photos of when they've got a little bit of attitude on them. That just to take photos of them is just so easy. Look at
yep,
that
they'll stand up and pose for the camera.
and carry on. Look at it. And I mean, I guess that's what makes it exciting is the fact that you make the same stuff every year. You sort of get a little bit numbed down to the excitement. When you make stuff like that, it keeps it exciting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
You keep it keeps,
new.
keeps you entertained and it keeps you interested in what you're doing, and you don't just get bored of the whole process. But I mean, that just having those and seeing those grow up, that'd be so good too. That'd be awesome.
Yep, actually, I've just found the clutch that has your little Manise in it. Actually, that was the wrong clutch. That was the supers from the other clutch
You know where that
that we just
orange
looked at.
one? Remember that clutch had like a really dark female, like the mum. Look at how's that one looking?
Yeah, that's back in the clutch way back before. Just a
Oh
brownie
yeah,
one. This one's the
the good tail. Oh yeah, that's oof. Also, just a little kink in there. That's also a jag. Is that a jag?
I think so, Jaguar. I think it's just Super Zebra Jaguar. Some strange movements, but check out that tail though.
Yeah, it's good. And the
That's a
picture,
good.
yeah.
Mm.
It looks like this. It looks like the Jags give them that like sort of a line running down the dorsolateral side. Is it dorsolateral?
Yeah, they get that. I
Also,
mean, all the supers tend to get that on the side of the body, that line all the way down the side. That's normal with all supers, but it's just a little bit more enhanced with the Jaguars, and they get that. They get that more variation you see behind that head. They get that really light behind the neck sort of coloring.
not dorsal. It's lateral. The lateral side. So dorsal is the back. Ventral is the stomach, and the lateral sides. It's beautiful. See the stripe there. I like that. Sorry, for those of you that don't know, my first language is not English, so I studied in Afrikaans, my native tongue. So if I sometimes sound like I'm hunting for the right word, it is because I'm trying to remember from uni days what the right words were. So apologies for that. What's the benefits of putting Jaguar into everything? It's just because Jags make everything look nicer.
Reduced pattern, brighter colours. As much as they're in the last, it's funny enough, the last few years I've never seen so much Jag hate. Seems to be going out of fashion.
Oh yeah.
Lots of haters. Where you go back 5 years ago and 10 years ago, when there was very few Jags around, everybody wanted Jags, and that's probably related to the neuro issues. People get uncomfortable with seeing animals with neuro, but I don't find it to be a huge issue with a lot of animals. There's certainly I've got animals that have neuro issues, no doubt, but it's not. It's not. I don't think it's a reason not to keep Jaguars, but I certainly do myself even pair less Jaguars these days than what I used to.
Yeah, well, people don't seem to realize that they used to be $5,500 and then $4,500, and then one or two individuals decided they would drop the price through the floor. After everybody invested that much because took a dislike in Simon Stone, they decided to just drop the price because they had a personal beef with Simon, and half the price, and wanted to sell him for $900 after the third season in the industry. And I mean, some of these guys are still around that did that to the Jaguar gene. So they know exactly what I'm talking about. So a lot of people are annoyed with that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I really do like the Jags. I don't like putting the Jag into everything. I mean, you need to make sure there's nice Jaguars, and then there's just your average brown Jags. I mean, you look at some of the Jags on my website and see what Jags can do. And then you look at some, a lot of guys are working with Jaguars, and there's nothing really to talk about. They've really standard looking Jags. What have we got here, Brent?
This is the snow from last year from this same pairing.
Oh, so you did have it. So it is a lot less patterned and a lot less color. That is nice. Yeah. Okay. Very nice.
Certainly lighter than albino, but yeah, definitely you can see some of the yellow coming up on it that makes me think it's not a moon glow.
Yeah.
This one had almost a little bit of a yellow haze over it when it was born, and I thought straight away probably snow.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a game of waiting. Certainly grow it up to get some size on it, and breeding is going to be the battle. But it seems this is 12 months old now, so you sort of can get a fair bit better idea of where you're at.
But it's definitely not the type of animals that you rush into selling. If you're not 100% sure what you're dealing with.
No, definitely not. I saw on one of the shows Lark's talking about they're really something he feels you need to keep back 9 months to get an idea of what you've got before you can rush to sell anything. It's certainly I would have been fooled into thinking both of those were moonglows out of the egg. I could have easily gone, wow, that's moon. It was so white. It's only after that one had its first shed that I could sort of detect a little bits of yellow on it that made me think maybe that's a snow. I don't have experience with many of them to tell, so I thought, they're whole back, they're not going anywhere, so it's easily trapped to fall into to think, wow, I've hatched a whole bunch of them, but 6 months later, I think you can sort of get a better picture.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for bringing us into your world again tonight. I see you did get a surprise today
Which one?
with the snake.
Surprise, surprise.
laying the
Oh,
egg.
yes.
How many
Bradley clutch.
surprises? How many surprises did you get today? I don't know. That was a good
Uh,
surprise, huh?
me being at work is a surprise to my whole life. It's just I'm still just in shock.
Uh,
But
yeah,
yeah, Bradley girl. Finally, I don't know that I've ever had a female go 47 days from prelay and still lay a clutch. It's not perfect, and like I talked to you about it, and I thought it just felt stiff, hard in the body. I thought it's just going to be slugs, and I thought she was probably egg bound with slugs. But
yeah.
she got that's 8 or 9 good eggs out, and I think 6 or 7 slugs, and she's not done yet. I think there's probably still 4 or 5 eggs still in her. So she's got most of it done. But I couldn't get out of work today. I was busting to just leave, but poor Michelle and I were stranded by ourselves with no backup. So
Yeah.
I came home, got those eggs off. Slugs in the bin, eggs into the incubator, and hopefully she'll get the rest out cleanly tonight by herself.
But that's a how big? How many? That's a big girl, though, isn't it?
She would be 3 kilos. She's not gigantic, but a decent sized girl for a Bradley Darwin head
And that,
albino.
and you were also a little bit skeptical about whether the males were doing their jobs, and then I would say that's a good. That you used an albino Bradley male over her,
Yep,
didn't you?
that's the first, like the original males in the first year I did it 3 or 4 years ago. There was 4 males I made in the first year.
Yeah.
Unlucky with the sex odds, but happy to have 4 out. So
Is
I
that
used 2 of those boys this year. I rotated the boys over a few different girls, and
and were
yeah,
they
it looks like working.
what was that really orange albino Bradley that you've got? Is that a male or female? The one that
That's
we
a
did.
female.
I,
Yeah, I spared her this year. I didn't want to push her being young. She was probably close to 2 kilos. I could have taken a chance on it, but not interested in pushing the small girls. So
yeah.
I've kept her on the food. So she'll be a good 2.5 kilo easy, ready for next year.
And then, of course, when you get all those really nice Bradley that you've got in that rack behind you up to size, I mean, that's something that you can put the albinos over again to sort of refine that
Yeah,
line as well. You know?
absolutely. They'll be. I'd love to see these things mix. Some albino stuff mixed into these in years to come.
Yeah, no, that's still some of my favorite Bradley. That very nice.
Super reduced. It's crazy. That's just as they grow, the color just keeps stripping away constantly on them. So they got that beautiful greeny, tinge to them. That's beautiful. Whoops, sorry, Sheree, I just spilled water all through this tub.
Oh,
It's
what are you doing, Bradley?
the
Yeah.
cleaning lady will be most upset. I'm always in trouble for making water mess in tubs.
So have you? I never asked you why do you opt for the ceramic bowl and not just the throwaway 400 ml plastic bowl? like I used to do? What is there a reason why you choose the ceramic? Is it just because you environmentally friendly, or?
No, I've always found those lighter plastic bowls very easy to tip over, especially when you get animals that like that thing's too big in the middle of shuffling stuff that it's going to move into a V35 short.
Yeah,
But I found once for the first maybe 3 months, the little plastic ones work fine.
yeah,
Once they get a little bit of size, I'll tip those over non-stop, and you'll be forever having, floods in tubs. I know Darren Whittaker uses some little bits of PVC pipe cut into sections and sits the bowls into those. Works quite well.
yes, yeah.
Um, but same deal. I find those ceramic ones. The other reason I love the ceramics. Let me just grab one out of here.
Darren's been very quiet in recent times.
Yeah, he's all right. He had some surgery and recovering, and
Yeah.
I won't tip this one out. Let me just find a normal one that's not full of water. But yeah, it's definitely a weight factor. That's
Yeah, no, I was just thinking. I'm just asking because I'm sure there's people thinking, you know, and those are cheap. I mean, you can get those for like $1 or $2 at the $2 shop.
Yep, I buy them in bulk from a catering supplies place. What do they call them? Some sort of bowl. Don't know.
The
I'll have
good
to
thing
look it up.
about
But
the good thing about those little bowls are as well that if you've got your snake room set up so that and you've got a spare spot in your room that's plumbed into your water, you could run a dishwasher in there and stick those things in once a week or whenever you're cleaning a rack. You stick them in there, put them on a clean cycle, and you've got your bowls ready, and you don't have to wash them at the sink. For those of you that's lucky enough to have that type of room,
yep,
that's how I'd streamline a place. If I was using ceramics, I'd literally go out of my way and install a bloody. I'm lazy like
yep.
that.
I have an awesome wife that washes most of mine for me, so she's very good. But the reason I really love them, that serrated edging on them, the very coarse thing, is fantastic for snakes to rub against.
Yeah,
And a lot of the time, I will find sheds wrapped around that bowl where they just
yeah,
drag around it, and
yeah,
that's why I also use that mesh. People asking about that garden mesh that's in those tubs, in the black and green stuff.
yeah.
It's a shedding aid as well as functional. If you've got a perfectly smooth V18 tub, with a plastic water dish, you've got no rough surfaces for them to try and dig that skin up on and start the shed process.
Yeah, there's a few there that said you find them shed on the ceramic bowls. Did you see the question, or was it just?
Nah, no,
Okay,
that's
actually,
definitely what.
somebody
I was
else.
just trying to find one in the rack because you can nearly stand back here most days, and you'll see somewhere a shed wrapped around a bowl. Which
Darren has the correct name for those bowls. It's a ramekin.
that's the name. That
There
is
we
the
go.
name.
There's only the good information on this channel, as we always
It's,
said. No fact checking here.
he's our master fact and pronunciation spell checker, grammar checker.
Yeah, ceramic ones are cheap
Ceramic.
and easy to throw in the dishwasher. Yes, Anthony, we do agree with that statement.
And I cannot find a single shed now stuck to a bowl. Oh, it's probably because Sharice has been through and cleaned everything.
It looks
So
pretty.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything cleaned through. I think she was through yesterday, day before maybe. So
So big things happening on the channel. Brent just got taken hold of his new camera that we are installing, so that he can do nice zooms and close-ups of these snakes, a little bit better quality than that phone of his. So
yep,
we'll probably still have to use your phone because you need to wire that headset of yours into that. So we might do the full screen shot of with your phone on the tripod, and then set up the camera on the desk itself, so we
yep.
can.
For the close-up side, we can have a little bit better in focus under light pictures, so it'll be a little bit higher quality, which will be nice.
Yes. And yeah, so we've got this. This will be. I don't know what we're doing. We've got. I've sort of held back with the reptile Q&A shows because everybody's still on holiday, and there's no real incentive this time of year to do it. We'll do one sort of in the next 2 weeks. We'll do another show there. The next real show with the snakes would be the Bredley clutch, and that'll be 60 days away.
60 days for the Bradley. There's one tiny little clutch of like 3 eggs left or something of caramel, caramel jag to Sunglow maybe or something. It's a bit of a disaster clutch. And there's a little clutch that might might have something nice in it, right up old Marty B's alley. Some little 2+ Stimson, just a head-to-head pairing. So hopefully there'll be a couple of visual 2+ in that little bunch. I think there's only 6 eggs, so
Is
hopefully we
that
can see 1 or 2.
is that from that clutch that you had that teeny tiny little steep positive Stimsons last year?
Yep, and both died. I had 2 last year. They were ultra small compared to the possets in the clutch. They were absolutely tiny, and yeah, they just never kicked off. They were never strong and died within a couple of weeks. So
And
hopefully this year, big stronger eggs this year. I think the girls are a bit older, a bit bigger. So hopefully the T+ visuals will be more viable this year.
and which line of T positive is that from?
David Evans line.
Okay, I thought that was because they had that typical whiteness to them. That white snow
Yeah,
to them.
yep, certainly more of that orangey sort of colour. I certainly like Colin Ray's line of T+ stuff's absolutely beautiful. They're probably, I think, the most beautiful line in that T+ thing out there. Every time I see those things, they're just mind blowing.
Somebody Darren just gave us a good idea here. So when we get all your mounts and stuff that we that you are acquiring, hopefully, because everything seems to be out of stock in this
Yep.
day and time of COVID, China virus. Darren, there's a show on getting hatchlings to feed and different strategies to stop people losing babies would be a good one. So what I reckon is what we could do is probably mount the camera over one of those racks while you go through. We'll talk about it, but I think it's something that we can definitely execute in the next few weeks or months or whatever. But that's
Yep.
it could be a good photo because there is definitely a technique. There are techniques involved with getting some of them to go and some of them not to go, and we could probably do. Oh yeah, there's a face on there.
There's the face. Everyone wants to know who's the face. Who's the face?
Who is the face?
Come on. There's a quiz now. Some boy band, probably Piper's towel I've stolen. Looks like some Boys to Men group or something. I don't know.
He's gonna put it away. Thanks, mate.
There's a pretty face. So we'll leave him there for a while.
Yeah, on the so Stephen Snay Johnson, well done, mate. He picked that one, and then that's it. Did you breed any Peter Menegazo? Did you breed any albino Bredley this year? Yes. So that clutch that we just talked about 10 minutes ago is definitely Brent might have something available. We'll see. You'll have better odds out of that clutch as well this year because it should be 50.
Visual to head. Yep, half and half. So all 100% heads will be nice, and half a clutch of albinos will be nice. But yeah, it's certainly only so far about 8 good eggs, so there won't be a lot. And there is some people like my friend Nikita who's been waiting years for one. So hopefully there'll be a few in there that I can please a few people who've been very patient waiting for something from that line. It's I've never had huge numbers with those, and I mean it's been head to head, so they just don't bring big numbers of visuals. So hopefully this year was the first crack at getting some bigger numbers out. But we'll see. Hopefully tonight you'll drop another half a dozen for me. It would be fantastic.
Very good. All right, so that's an hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty good. Thank you very much for that, mate. I'll hang around. We'll say goodbye. And where can so for those of you that's new to the show, where can they get a hold of you, Brent?
KHP Reptiles on Facebook seems to be the place everyone comes on through. Messages through the page regularly, and Brent Smith on Messenger. You'll find me online at least once a day. I'm online doing lots of things all day, so somewhere in between there, I'll be answering some questions, I'm sure.
So, yeah, buying sports cars and spending money. Yeah, that's what you.
Absolutely. If anyone's got any 1951 Bowman baseball sports cards, hit me up. It's become my obsession. Yes, 51's the year.
Got a lazy pocket. There we go.
Oh, mate, the Mickey Mantle rookie card and the Mays rookies. There's some classics in there. That's the gun set, and one day I will own all of them.
But you are a tough negotiator, so
it's been hard work. It's a new industry to me, and I love new things. I've only been in the cards game, sports cards, for probably a bit over 12 months. So it's been a learning experience, learning different hobbies and the way things are done. And it's interesting to look at the way people, I guess the reptile industry is the same. There's the players and there's the people in it, and there's the way things are done, and you don't disrupt the system, and you follow the rules, and you
Yeah.
know people come in and often try to disrupt everything, which is lots of
Step on
lots of
toes.
fun.
Can't step on toes anywhere.
No, it's good fun, but I've done the research. It's fantastic fun. I love chasing the things down and hunting it and doing the research, and then becomes trying to collect 324 cards in a set. It's a lot of work. So yeah, lots of negotiations, deals, pitches. It's great fun. Keeps me busy.
All right, so we had a lot of people say thank you. Yeah, we appreciate all of your support, guys. Don't keep watching, pop in on the pages every now and then to just see if there's any updates on any of the live streams that we're going to do. We're hoping we can get stuff up. I'll help it. Brent set up this new camera of his so we can have another angle or actual high quality sharp angle, so you can actually see the snakes properly. And then thank you for tuning in. We'll be in touch, and yeah, as I said, happy New Year, everybody. Good luck for the year, prosperous New Year. Hopefully, we can get this China virus under control, so life can get back to normal, so we can get back to expos and hanging out and seeing our friends again interstate and stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, people wear a mask. Be good. We'll see you again.
Are you on the mask lockdown up in New South Wales, or is it?
We are. It's
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
know. You read the rule book, and it's public areas where the mask. It specifies certain places: banks, post office, hairdressers, knock shops. Funny enough, it's strange, but
What
all
the?
of the places you must wear a mask, and supermarkets. But then we're just a retail parts store, and we're kind of in the middle grey area, so I'm not sure. But if everyone wears the mask, it's got to be better overall. We're not dying wearing a mask, so
Just get
wear
those.
the mask.
Just get those plastic barriers that they've got up at the post office, and you just stay behind the barrier, and you just show them where they need.
Yep, just
You can
just poke
delegate.
your information through the slot. Thank you.
I'll take your bank card. You can just hold it up against the scanner. No
Yep,
physical contact of anything. Yeah. So let's
yep,
stop.
yep.
Let's cut it short. And yeah, thank you very much again tonight for showing us your babies, mate. And then we'll see you next time.
No worries. Thanks, guys.